life. Ow! Chicken. Check this out. Pretty nice, right? Winnie the Moo. This is Winnie the Moo. Winnie is a baby cow. She's not a baby anymore. She is 2.5 years old-ish. She's a red Angus beef cow. So she came from a beef operation in Oklahoma. So she was gonna be slaughtered for beef at about 1 year old, but now she's here. And she does ASMR streams. Cinema. So I don't know if you guys heard the burp in there. One of the reasons that we have Winnie is to teach people about the beef industry. She's a ruminant. So one of the byproducts of cows' digestion is methane, which is a greenhouse gas. And we have so many cattle on this planet to meet the demand for the beef industry that it's affecting our climate. It is insanely high emissions, an insanely high emissions food that we consume. So if you don't know where to start, but you want to make an impact on the environment with what you're eating, you can start by eating less beef. How'd she get there? How do you save a cow from the beef industry like that? So the cattle ranchers are people that my mom knows from childhood. And Winnie's mom had mastitis, so she couldn't be nursed by her mom. She was a bottle baby. And bottle babies are a lot of work for ranchers, right? They have to be bottled like 3 times a day. And that's a lot of work to put into one cow. So she was a bottle baby and so... Okay, rude. She reframed. Bottle babies are a lot of work for ranchers, and so they were kind of just like, hey, if you want to take her for your program, you can. They donated her. She's nice. Baby cow. Nice baby cow. Do you guys have questions about cows or the beef industry while we're here sitting on a cow? Do you have stats on how many acres of forest is clear cut per year to make room for cattle ranches? You know, I don't have that stat off the dome, and I don't want to say an incorrect stat, but a ton of deforestation, I think it's in the 70s, like 70% of deforestation in the Amazon rainforest is linked to cattle ranching, and that's because we're cattle ranching in those forests because we don't have enough space to raise as much cattle as we need to meet the demand. So there's a ton of cattle ranching that happens in the Amazon rainforest, which is super, super sad. Someone asked what other meats they should eat instead of beef. If you're still eating meat, poultry, like chicken, has... I don't know how to compare that to seafood, but for land animals, poultry has the lowest emissions. You know, if you're comparing poultry to like pork or beef or lamb or stuff like that, poultry has the lowest emissions. Do you ever see the beef industry becoming less dominant? Sure, yeah. Supply and demand is a real thing. Econ. Yeah, I mean, there's companies like Gardein and Beyond Meat and stuff like that that only exist because of the demand for meat alternatives. And you can find those products in pretty much every grocery store now. So, yeah, maybe. Someone said, I switched to turkey because of Winnie. What's Winnie/cow's life expectancy outside of the beef industry? I think around 20 years. But they want me to give you a hug. That's nice. Nice baby cow. Look at those legs. Slay. Queen Winnie for president. Serrano. He's amazing. Guys, she's thinking about rising. And if she rises, you can get a screen grab where it looks like she's sitting. Imagine. Chat, you want to get assaulted by an emu? She's gonna bite my finger. Don't bite my finger. I'm in 99 degrees. You guys want to give Stompy a bath? Chicken bath time. He's having a drink first. Does Stompy shed feathers? Yeah, he loses feathers sometimes. Where does that bird keep his brain? In his head. His brain's about 0.06% of his body mass. And by about, I mean that's like a real number. 0.06% of his body mass. But he's really good at being an emu and doing emu things. That's all he needs. Emus are ratites. They're related to ostriches, but they're from Australia, and ostriches are from Africa, and ostriches are bigger. By quite a bit. Like, you could ride an ostrich. People ride ostriches. You can't ride an emu. Chat, you're gonna get wet. Look out. Stop, Stompy. Oh no, chat. Wait, he looks huge like this. Oh my god, that's cool. Wait, I could ride him. Whoa! Wicked! He's a mount. So, submarine time incoming. Ooh. Baited, we got baited. Oh, there it is. Submarine! Oof. One of the reasons we have Stompy, well, the reason we have Stompy as an individual is because he was born at a zoo in California and his mom didn't sit on the clutch of eggs that he was in. So the clutch of eggs was incubated, he was raised by people, and then was shipped here to be a part of our education program. The education part of why we have an emu is because emu meat was really popular up until the 90s. It was a trend more, I guess, but as an alternative to red meat. And it didn't ever affect the wild populations of emus, and emus are really lucky for that, but there's a lot of animals that are exploited in the exotic meat trade whose wild populations are affected. And so Stompy just kind of became an ambassador for that. So that kind of ties into the meat conversation we were having before. Monkinison, thank you. Whoa, that was a big shake. Oh no. Oh my god. It said click stop broadcast. No. Oh wow, that was crazy. You guys almost got. Also, emu oil has been used in cosmetics and medicinal products for a long time. It's a byproduct of emu meat. It's an oil that's extracted out of the backs of emus. And so there's just like another note to like check what's in your products and make sure that they're vegan products if that's something that you're looking for. Because you don't always know. Emu oil is pretty obvious. I think it's literally marketed as emu oil. You guys want me to tell you a story about the Emu War? While we're watering the emu. The year was 1932. Farmers in Australia were given land after the war to rebuild, to grow crops. And emus became an agricultural pest. So they would run into the cropland and they would eat all the crops. And they would ruin all their crops, and the farmers were mad. And they said, it's time for war. At the time, 1932, Australia did have a Minister of Agriculture. But no, the farmers were too mad, so they went to the Minister of Defense. And they said, an enemy is afoot. And it's time to go to war. And the Minister of Defense gave them permission to go out with machine guns and try to cull emu populations. And so it was like a series of like 3 or 4 attempts going out with machine guns to herds of emus, trying to cull them as in kill as many of them as possible. And emus can run like 30 miles an hour, and they're really quick and really agile. and they were trying to shoot emus with machine guns off the backs of trucks. And they went through so much ammo and killed so few emus because they're just too freaking fast, and they dodged them, that the Minister of Defense was like, guys, we're wasting resources. Like, this is not sustainable. And he called off the war. That's what happened. That's how emus won a war. Or, alternatively, how Australians lost a war to emus. I don't know if you guys have ever heard people say that before, but that's why. That's what happened.